Do not practice too much at once. If it is said about total tracking of the I thought, it does not mean that it is possible to practice this way from the beginning. Nothing is possible at once. Try picking up a pair of needles and knitting. Your hands will be tired after 5 minutes, while another woman can knit for hours on end. But if you start practicing a little every day without getting tired and at the same time without taking big breaks in training, then in a couple of months you will knit easily and not get tired. Fatigue comes from an unfamiliar workload. When you train by gradually increasing the load, then there will be no pain. You get used to it gradually on the principle of less is better, but more often. If today during the day you notice the I thought 5 times, tomorrow you will notice it 6 times, and the day after tomorrow, all 10. In 3 months, you will recognize every I thought and instantly stop thinking about yourself. In 6 months, you will notice its very occurrence. You will detect it right at the moment of its occurrence and stop it immediately. But at first, you will only be able to remember periodically, what am I thinking about now? About myself as a human being. Stop. Gradually, it will become a habit, and at some point, the most natural question will pop up in your consciousness. Who is thinking it all? I am who? Because the practitioner wants everything at once, he gets a headache, eventually becomes frustrated, and gives up practicing. A blow of the hammer will not break a block of stone, but drop by drop gradually grinds it away. Be persistent in your practice. Ignoring the doubts, it won't work. It's too primitive. I'm not ready to become Atman yet. It's taking a long time to get results, and others. Such thoughts come from the ego itself, from the mind acting as a witness. It itself is the only obstacle. Whatever you do, do it perfectly, with complete dedication and without any sense of authorship. Practicing is giving up everything you can give up, from pleasures to the habit of constantly thinking about your own. If you want freedom from identity, you must say goodbye to your personal life, as if you are no longer there. If you want to get rid of your individual life, and that's what self-realization entails, give it up. You cannot run away from your own obsession, you can only stop creating it. You must forget about yourself. Work not for yourself, but for your loved ones, discarding the idea of I am working. Discard all ideas on your own account. It is difficult. It is not for everyone. Only a dire necessity or a clear understanding of the inevitability of the end of your individual life can make you give yourself completely to practice. To make practice your life. You're going to die anyway, so do it now. Die while the body lives and see what happens. Whoever thinks that he has already gotten rid of desires, let him see how many times during waking hours he has thought, want. Needs of the body and duties to the family do not count. To be ready for self-inquiry is to no longer have any desires. To give yourself completely to practice, you must want nothing but practice. You cannot combine personal desires and the practice of getting rid of personality. There are 3 paths or ways of experiencing reality: slow, protracted, fast, extreme, and median. The slow or protracted path is what usually happens to seekers and stretches over more than one lifetime. The seeker dangles between personal life and practice with varying success. 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Extreme is when you have forgotten about the world and your personal life, and with great effort keep the mind constantly focused on the Atman. You become like a maniac, but in a good way. You are ready for any challenge and have said no to all your desires. You are no longer interested in the world, no matter what happens in it. The world is dead to you. You see only the Atman. Mind has gone away from the world. Mind is a monk. The middle path is gentle and available to all but freeloaders. Just like the extreme, you do not believe in the reality of the world, but accept it as a manifestation of your nature. You accept the manifested, but do not consider it a self-existent world. Without avoiding action in the world, you constantly practice observing the contents of the mind. Look into the mind more often, helping yourself with the question, what am I thinking about right now? This practice itself will reveal much to you. Yeah, in the evening before going to bed and in the morning when waking up, try to catch what is thinking, helping yourself with the question, what creates the thinking? What is the source of thinking? Who's thinking?